Brad, the Celtics haven't won many close games this year. So what did you think of your team's execution down the stretch, and what does winning a close game do to your team's confidence?
Well, we won two of the last three. You know, Philly at home, now this, and lost the San Antonio game. But I don't know. I mean, that was a good win because both teams I thought were playing at a pretty high level throughout the course of the game. Obviously, each team had its own stretch and its own run, but it looked to me like we were going to be in for a real tough one early. They just looked really connected, really alert. The Bulls did, and seemed to be clicking early. And I thought our bench kind of settled us down, and then everybody was pretty good the last 36 minutes or so.
Coach,
40 minutes.
Right. In the second half, Isaiah obviously got it going offensively. What adjustments, if any, did you all make to really allow him to be more effective as a scorer in the second half?
I thought, first of all, I thought he was just being aggressive. I mean, those weren't anything that was coaching. I mean, he was pulling up in transition. He was, sometimes when they're guarding you as hard as they were guarding him, you need to take advantage of your transition opportunities, and you almost need to create some. And then at the end, they were scrambling a little bit in their pick and rolls because they were playing smaller and those type of things. And we actually had Jay at the 4, which they obviously didn't want to leave. So it was something that he got to the basket a couple times, and he's going to get fouled late in the games, and he's a good free throw shooter.
Coach, you alluded to it. Play the bench. Can you talk about that and how the rotation is settling in?
Well, I mean, I don't know about settling in per se, but it's just I thought that Evan and Kelly were really, really good in the first half. That David Lee went on that great stretch in the second half. And, I thought James gave us really solid minutes. He's very alert. He's in the right place. So, we all hope that a shot goes down, one of those shots go down, but that's the least of our concerns. We just want him to go out there and guard and, keep the ball moving and everything else. And I don't know what his plus-minus was. I guess it's probably on here, but it sure felt like we were good when he was in the game.
Brad,
Plus 15.
Brad, what happened late in the game where they announced you called a timeout and then there was a jump ball coming out of it?
I have no idea.
No.
I didn't call a timeout.
Oh, okay.
I was praying they would give us a jump ball. I thought they had called a timeout. That might be it. Chicago may have. Noah tried to call a timeout as he was on the ground, and it got tied up before he called the timeout was the call.
Brad, do you kind of enjoy slugfest like this? I mean, these two teams usually play this kind of game, and this seemed like a very physical. I mean, I'm sure your guys are tired. I mean, do you enjoy games like this?
I mean, that was a really good basketball game. A lot of people playing at a very high level, and Jimmy Butler, we had no answer for. He was terrific, and our guys, I thought, guarded him as well as they could. And hopefully you just wear him down enough that he misses one late. He didn't miss very many, but we've got to play position well. We've got to play physical. We've got to share the ball, and then we'll have a chance. So that's kind of our deal as a team.
Coach, what allowed David Lee to perform at such a high level coming off missing both those games against the Spurs and Pelicans?
I don't know. I mean, I think David's a good player. That's the first answer for you. We're trying to play through our bigs quite a bit. That's an emphasis for our team, and he's capable of making plays off the bounce and capable of making plays on the pass, and then he got a couple of finishes there at the rim tonight. So sometimes a couple of days rest isn't all that bad either.
Brad, Jared's had 36 rebounds in the last two games. What's impressed you about his recent performances?
Yeah, I mean, he's all over the glass, and that's against really long players. Anthony Davis and Omier and Ajinça the other night, and then these guys tonight. And they've got him by, a few inches, but he's really doing a good job of getting position. And when the ball hits his hands, it sticks. We've talked about that. He hit a big shot too, with about a minute left to kind of stymie the Tide, I guess.
Brad, you had 8 players in double figures tonight. How much do you like to see that from a balance standpoint and just team-wise, psychologically, to get everybody involved like that?
I just think that's who we have to be. There's going to be nights where Isaiah goes off. Avery's going to shoot it a lot better on most nights. But we've got to be a team that spreads it around for us to be good.
Brad, I know this league is one night at a time, but did you have any thought in the back of your mind that these guys might be looking at Friday a little bit with who's coming into town on Friday night?
Yeah, and it's okay to look at it now. I mean, but I thought they did a really good job of focusing on, you know, the task at hand, which was a tough task. And, you know, we talked about not having any excuses at the end of a road trip or coming back home. Like, we're here to perform and we're here to play well, and this is what we need to do. And we took the last 48 hours off prior to coming to the gym, or 48 hours off prior to coming to the gym at 3:40, and you know, I thought we, at the end of the game, had a little juice, which was good.
So was there any worry on your part, besides coming off the road trip, that 23-0 was waiting?
I talked about it in the pregame. I'm a realist. If we were going to get beat. So we found out we weren't, which was good. That's the way you hope you're going to be, but you can never predict human nature.
Brad, you went with a pretty big lineup at the end of the first and third quarter with James, Evan, and Jay on the perimeter. Can you explain your thinking behind that and why it was more successful in the first than it was in the third?
Well, I actually thought, and I don't know what their numbers were, but I thought the bench at halftime was probably all plus or right around plus. So I felt like they were all playing pretty well in the first half too. That's the guys that are available right now in those spots, you know, and we've talked about it a lot. This is where Evan's value comes in. I mean, Evan can back up the 2 and the 3, or he can back up the 1, you know, or he can guard Mirotic at the end of the game. Like, you know, that's an important player on your team, and his versatility allows everybody else to play their normal positions and allows our team to go from small to big.